Well, who would have expected this? Another day and another chapter in the Pierre-Luc Dubois saga. Last time we spoke about some other teams that might be interested in this guy, yada yada yada, whatever, but today we're going over an actual update as to what's going on, because yesterday in the Columbus Blue Jackets' 3-2 overtime loss against the Tampa Bay Lightning, we had a very significant series of events that occurred that open a new chapter as to how this Pierre-Luc Dubois story is going. So, our story goes as follows. The Blue Jackets play the Lightning and all is looking pretty okay. In the first period, we have Pierre-Luc Dubois shifts coming over every few seconds over here. He's getting 28-second shifts, 48-second shifts, 51-second shifts as well. Eventually, he has himself a 1-minute shift at the halfway mark of the period. So, by the time the first period is halfway over, what we had was about, 3-ish minutes of gameplay from Pierre-Luc Dubois. Now, normally, if you average it out, that would equate to about, let's say, 6 minutes a period, about 18 minutes a night. That's fine, NHL forwards get about 18, 20-ish minutes if they're really good, a little bit more if they're even more spectacular. But things got a little bit worse for PLD as that period went on, because with 5 minutes left in the first period, PLD went out there. He played a shift. He kind of skated around a little bit. He kind of just waltzed around the ice in the offensive zone. He took the puck, but he got easily stripped away from it. Wasn't really doing all too much to protect it, but he was just kind of there. And then he goes back over to the bench, sits down at 4:36 left in the first period. That shift was 43 seconds long, putting his total time on ice up to that point at 3 minutes and 55 seconds. Well, he wasn't played for the rest of the game in periods 2, 3, or overtime, and he wraps everything up with a total of 3:55 on the night. He straight up gets benched, and fans are going at it and thinking about, Tortorella's going out there benching Pierre-Luc Dubois. What does this mean, man? What does this mean? And Tortorella, to his credit, ended up answering a few questions with the media, the post-game interview. For what it's worth, Tortorella didn't say much about Dubois and benching him. He just said, I'm not going to have a discussion about it with you guys. However, there was a little bit of a follow-up there. At the end of the media conference, Tortorella did go into a bit more due to Aaron Portzline's follow-up question. And he said this, "It's up to the player to show me. If you play the proper way, you're going to get out there." Pierre-Luc Dubois declined to comment tonight. And I said in actual detail how Dubois' last shift actually went, because this shift has actually been going somewhat viral on Twitter. It was posted onto different posts and all that. People are talking about what he did in the last 40-something seconds that he played. And he really didn't look all too great. As I said, he's just kind of coasting along there. He's just gliding around, not really protecting the puck, just going back and forth. He's going out there for a skate, Louis Eriksson style, That's what I'm thinking right here. And people saw this and they were like, okay, the way he's playing kind of justifies the benching, The way he's playing on a team that he's already openly expressed that he wants to get traded from, yeah, that's kind of a stuck-up move, man. I'm sorry. Now, here's the thing about the Pierre-Luc Dubois saga thus far. When you're in a position, when you're the top player on your hockey team, and you request a trade, requesting a trade is fine. Being true to yourself and being true to what it is that you want is fine, and openly expressing what you want is also fine. It gets a lot worse, though, however, when you legitimately just give up on the team that you're playing for. You go out there, you don't really skate, you don't really do anything in terms of your actual on-ice evaluation. You're just going around there, not really playing anything. You're just kind of gliding because it's your job and you kind of have to, and you're waiting for a trade to set you apart and send you to a team that you actually want to play for. That's not cool, man. And Pierre-Luc Dubois showed off in last night's game a work ethic that was worthy of being benched for the remaining 40, 45 something like minutes in the game. And Blue Jackets fans were going out there talking about the whole Dubois benching like, yeah, this guy kind of deserved it. Please, Jarmo Kekalainen, just go out there, make a trade, please. This is a guy who not only has requested that he wants out of our team, but a guy who's completely given up on playing for our team, and as a result is just out here gliding. And this is one of the ugliest things that could happen in this kind of situation, because, like it or not, if a player goes out there and he is good, he's bad, or whatever, that evaluation is always going to be present in the minds of GMs who are trying to make a trade for these kinds of players. This is a tweet from Pierre LeBrun going over the benching, and he says this: "It makes total sense for the Jackets GM Jarmo Kekalainen to want to take his time in a Dubois trade. But if this becomes ugly, it's easier said than done." Because let's think about it from the perspective of another NHL team who is wanting to acquire Dubois. Jarmo Kekalainen calls you up. He's like, "Hey, we're trading this guy, Dubois, you want him. Here's the price we're asking for. Do you want to do this trade?" It's easy for other NHL GMs to go out there and say, "Jarmo Kekalainen, buddy, what are you, nuts? You want this, this, and that? Why? Look at your guy. He's not skating out there. He's not playing. Look at how he's playing out there on the ice. Is this guy worth the package that you're asking for here?" All of a sudden, this is a huge, huge bargaining chip for other NHL teams to go out there and talk to Kekalainen about. Because even though the player we're talking about is really good, the fact is this player isn't playing well at all. He's going out there and skating, just gliding around. This is not the kind of guy that people will look at and say, okay, that guy is worth a roster player, a top prospect, and a first-round pick. That's the guy whom we're going to shell out that kind of package for. There's a salty, muddy, kind of ugly attitude behind this idea that is brought up by Pierre-Luc Dubois just not playing hockey the right way anymore, which is what led him to getting benched. So, I don't want to make it seem like John Tortorella was going all 3D galactic 4D chess kind of brain and trying to make it easier for this guy to get traded. I think Tortorella was just kind of doing his job, seeing a guy who is not playing well and being like, okay, you're not playing well, you're benched, you're not playing, bud, get over it, be better next time, we'll see if you're able to actually compete then. But then the opposing perspective is, well, Jarmo, we have this guy, he's not being played, he's got a whole bunch of value, teams out there are wanting to trade for this guy. What's the holdup? Make the trade. And so now, as phrased by so many people I follow on Twitter, what was just slight whispers, little hearsay kind of moments between NHL media and personnel and fans, etc., when it comes to the Pierre-Luc Dubois trade situation, is now a full-force train. This is a big thing now that is actually going to be pushed into high gear, and now teams are going to go out there calling even more. They have a bargaining chip, but there's more desperation now to trade this guy than there ever had been before. At least, that's how it would appear to me. And now, with Pierre-Luc Dubois all of a sudden becoming the most underutilized forward on the roster, quite legitimately because he doesn't play anymore, we'll see where things go from here. Now, is there a possibility that says that Pierre-Luc Dubois doesn't even get traded in the next few months? Yes, absolutely. There's a chance that this guy doesn't even get traded, he re-signs an extension in a few years, and he stays in Columbus long term. But with the perception of everything we have thus far, there's a lot to believe that says that there's a lot more kicking with this Dubois trade saga now than there had been in the past few weeks, via the benching, as well as via every other piece of information we've had leaked into the media. Teams being interested. We spoke about Colorado, Tampa Bay last time. We've spoken about the other ones as well. Philadelphia's in here. Montreal is in here. All these other teams that apparently have shown interest. And at the same time, it's obvious to see why. This guy's 22 years old. He's already one of the better two-way centers in the entire league. When he wants to play, that is. And when he's at his best, he's a guy who will definitely grow into a more capable, more suitable Selke candidate NHL player night in, night out by the time he hits his prime. He's not there yet, but he's already so gosh darn good when he wants to be, and as a result, there's going to be teams checking in on that, of course. So, with this benching going on here, Tortorella doing his business, Pierre-Luc Dubois not showing up on the ice. Talk to me in the comments what you think about this saga, what it means at the moment. What do you think is going to happen in the next few weeks? Where do you think Dubois is going to go? Let's just have a conversation about Pierre-Luc Dubois in the comments, because I know this is a very hot topic, and so many people have their own 2 cents about it. Talk to me in the comments what you think. Hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.